Um, I'm Jason Payne. I have a podcast of interviewing other entrepreneurs. Sometimes they're people that I've known for many years. Sometimes it's people that I don't know, younger entrepreneurs. Like we have Joaquin Tallman here today. That's how you say it, correct?
Tallman.
Tallman. Oh, Tallman. I'm sorry. Why did I say Tallman? I'm thinking Pat Tillman. I just did a YouTube thing on it today, so that's why I said that. Tallman. And kind of tell us your story. We go to church together. I just wanted to kind of talk to you and see you got a lot of spirit as being an 18-year-old entrepreneur, and I love it because I didn't start my first business until I was, 33 years. I was 33 years old is when I started my first business. So I love to see the spirit you have when it comes to being an entrepreneur. So tell me a little bit of what you do, how you do it, and we'll just go from there.
Well, my name is Joaquin Tallman. I'm 18 years old, and right now I have an auto detailing business and then also a video and photo business. So
nice.
Kind of just growing with those things,
Yeah.
learning the ins and outs of it.
What got you into detailing?
Well, actually, one of my friends threw up in my mom's car. And ever since then, I was trying to get the smell out, and I was like, maybe I could print some flyers out, go out through the neighborhood, and did that. Didn't really get too many.
Did you use ozone to get the smell out or no?
Yeah, some ozone and then pop the door panel off, got all the...
I've had that before.
Everything out of there. It was horrible.
Oh yeah, it's the smell of throw up or... I used to own a detailing company many years ago. It's called Painless Detailing, which I thought was the best name ever because my last name's Payne. We were painless when it came to detailing, and that's how that was kind of my first real business. Me and my wife started back in 2019. So yeah, about, 7 years ago, and ran with it. I love detailing. Detailing was the funnest thing that I think I've ever done. I mean, it was cool how I can go out and see, it's almost like art. Like that's how I felt. Like you see a dirty car, you see the inside, the outside, all the stuff wrong with it, and you go in there and you make it look like a masterpiece when you're done. And the reaction you get from people when they come out and they're like, holy cow, like you did all that? It's like, yeah, and it took me 3 hours, so you're gonna pay me for my time now.
Yeah.
So it's definitely cool. I absolutely loved detailing. So it is one thing that I think you can run with and make a very good career out of it. I really do. So is that the plan or?
I don't really think so. Right now it's what I got in the moment, and it's what I'm gonna learn with and what I'm gonna grow with. But I'd really like to do something else automotive. Okay. Kind of a build shop or even media, like a media house or something like that. That'd be
You want to do like
cool.
wraps and tints and all that? Or,
like
PPF?
And like the fabrication stuff too would be pretty cool.
So you're going to do a little bit of everything.
Yeah.
One-stop shop. I like it. I like it.
Just all in one place.
Yeah. How long, so detailing, how long have you, this is your year one, correct?
This is year one,
Year one, okay.
So
you were 17 when you started it?
17 when I started it. I was 16 and then 17 shortly after, but
nice.
Yeah.
And chemical-wise, what chemicals are you using? Are you using stuff from like AutoZone O'Reilly's, or do you go to some of these more chemical-based companies in the Valley, or what kind of chemicals are you using?
Usually I go off of more chemicals.
Okay.
So stronger things that I can dilute.
Awesome.
It's not as big of an upfront cost, or it's a little bit bigger upfront cost, but I can dilute my stuff better.
Yep.
I don't have to spend as much every single detail, and that's one thing that I've really learned is I used to buy the nicest products, and you get the same results no matter what.
Exactly.
It's really just the work you put into it.
Yep.
I mean,
and diluting down is definitely the way to do it, because then you have all different types of levels of carpet cleaners and different stains. Some stains get out real easy, some take a little bit more. So yeah, diluting chemicals is one thing that I learned whenever I was doing detailing, made a huge difference.
Yeah.
I started off with just going to O'Reilly's and going to AutoZone and grabbing stuff there, and took it and thought I was the detail master. And I actually found a guy, his name was Detail Geek. He's actually in Canada. He's on YouTube, and that's how I learned how to detail, was actually from that guy. So when I used to work for somebody before I started all this, I used to watch the YouTube videos all day long, like while I was working, and I would see how he would get carpet stains out, how he would do clay bar, how he would do all that stuff. And that's actually how I learned how to detail, was actually from a YouTube video. And then I just started word of mouth. I started telling people, hey, this is how I'm a detailer, this is how I do it. Let me know if you need something, I'll come to you, you come to me. So that was kind of how it all started. And we had that business for 3 years, and then I ended up selling it to my brother. And I don't know if he's doing anything with it. He might be, but I ended up selling it to one of my brothers, and now they're the painless detailer in the company or in the family now. So tell me about the photography. So what's that look like?
That's been something I do a lot at the church.
Okay.
I like getting really creative. I like making something that looks a little different than everyone else's work.
Nice.
And I think that's just really cool to do it at the church. And then I also help a lot out with my mom. She's writing a book right now and is going to publish it later on this year.
That's cool.
So just helping with the media coverage for it, because I could do it for her for like basically free.
Right.
I mean, a burrito here and there.
Exactly.
Nice, but
and a free place to live.
yeah, exactly. But doing that, the podcast stuff for her, the headshots, media coverage, all that sort of stuff is just really cool to be able to help her. That way she doesn't have to source out to somebody else and just fork out a lot of money to do it. So
yeah,
it's been really cool to help her.
That's
And
awesome.
here and there I'll do some side projects for fun.
Yeah.
Just go out.
What type
film.
of side projects are those? I know a few of them, but
I do a lot of stuff with like automotive content. So last year I was filming at Barrett-Jackson. That one was pretty cool, taking pictures, making videos. And then
really cool.
also I have my own little content page for automotive trucks. So that's pretty cool to just get out there and make some quality videos that just look pretty dang sweet.
I know. I've seen some of his videos. They're absolutely stunning. I saw all of his Barrett-Jackson stuff. His dad and I are friends, and we all go to church together as family. And I saw some of the stuff that you did at Barrett-Jackson, and it was, I can't believe you're only 18. Are you 18 now or 17? 18.
Yep.
So you're only 18 years old, and you're doing all that stuff. So I think you're steps ahead of a lot of people. I can tell you that right now in the entrepreneurial world. So it's cool you're diversifying what you're doing as far as the detailing, the photography, the videography, and then getting around with a lot of those people like that know you in that community. Because I know you have a few people that brand some of your stuff. I've seen some of your videos on other content creators' Instagram. So people know who you are. So that's a huge step up than a lot of people at your age have. So that's really, really cool. So nice. I like it. As far as what you've done so far, so detailing, the photography, which one do you think is easier?
I would say the photography is a little easier. That's not as laborious. I mean, being a taller person, I'm not as tall as Jason, but being a taller person, getting those small cars, your like back's just all the time.
I know.
Especially when it gets really busy. It's like, geez.
Yep.
So I like doing trucks. Those don't hurt as much.
Exactly. So detailing's easier than photography or vice versa?
I think the videography and photography is easier.
Okay.
Than the detailing. I mean, it's all relative.
Yeah.
Because with the media, you have to kind of boss people around, tell them what to do, make sure they look good, talking clear, all that sort of stuff. So it's a little different. I don't know if one's harder than the other. It's just it takes different kind of skills to do it.
Yep. And I know, so different skills, you bring that up. So as far as growth wise, where do you think do you see yourself more doing the detailing and the automotive side, or do you see yourself doing more of the videography and the photo side? Or do you plan on putting it all together as one whole thing?
I mean, ideally I kind of just want to use everything.
Okay.
Everything, if I'm good at video, I don't have to pay someone to do it.
Yeah. No, you're smart. I mean, as far as what we do is paint equipment sales, I do all my videos myself. So I know it's hard to do video, do edits, do captions, do all that stuff. I wish I had someone, I'll probably talk to you after this about it. I wish I had someone that could do it for me. I do have some leads as far as other photographers and other people that do it, but it's just timing, you got to find the time to do it. I feel like in business, you have to be relevant. So videos right now in small business is everything. We started changing our video setup about a month and a half ago. I met a guy named Nicky T, and he took my videos to a new level, my organic leads, my paid ad leads, and kind of took it to a new level when it comes to Facebook and Instagram. But what really has changed is the style of video and being face-to-face and not just showing equipment. I realized when I put my face on camera, a lot more people are engaged with it, which I don't know why. I think it's more people see your face and they know you're not an AI character. They know you're not just putting words behind, because AI is so good now where you could post a video and someone can talk behind it and they think it's you when it's really not.
Yeah.
So I did realize the face was something that really grabbed people's attention. So I think that's going to be the next step of advertising is going to be more your face on Instagram and Facebook. I think that's really going to take the next step. So what you're doing right now as far as the Instagram, and that's your generation's kind of social media and what to run with, I think you're on the right track of doing it. So that's really, really cool. As far as what's hard, we easy. What's the hard part about detailing or doing photography or media?
I mean, I'd say just the biggest thing in general is like, I look up to people like you, and then
I appreciate that.
Other just entrepreneurs and business owners, and it gets disheartening sometimes because I wish I could already get to the finish line, but you're probably not even to the finish line.
Not
so it's
even
like
close.
it just gets disheartening sometimes when you're not living in the moment, because if I were to live in the moment, I'd probably see that I'm doing pretty good.
Oh yeah.
But it's pretty hard to see it because you just want to keep, like entrepreneurs, they just want to keep doing better. So
yeah,
it's hard to just stay in one place and just enjoy what you've done.
No, you're right. And I think as an entrepreneur, I don't think you're ever really done or at a finish line. I think you start to find processes that makes your business run easier. So then it takes less stress off of you. When we started paint equipment sales, we did it out of our house. I mean, we started, my wife Danielle was working for Arizona Christian. I was detailing, I was trying to sell equipment, and we were all doing it in the front of our office in our house. That's how we started paint equipment sales. You came by today, you see our dealership, we have a storefront now, we have a brick and mortar, and I feel so blessed that God has given us this business and turned it into what we see today, but it's never gonna be easy. But I have found people and processes to make my life easier, where now I just focus on the sales and talking to people and doing the videos. I don't want to deal with the QuickBooks. I don't want to deal with loading up everything. I don't want to deal with talking to people on the phone. I just want to sell and find equipment. So as an entrepreneur, from one entrepreneur to another, I feel like once you find those processes, I think it'll make your life a lot easier, which is something to look forward to, because I know right now it probably looks like, man, everything's on me. You are correct. Everything is on you. Yeah, there's no, until you hire someone, everything's always going to be, you're wearing 30 different hats, As a detailer, you have to detail, you have to advertise, you have to market, you have to talk to people, you have customer service, you have your QuickBooks, the money, you got to put all that stuff together, and you're doing it by yourself. So I know it feels like a lot right now, but I promise you it does get easier. So it's something to look forward to.
Yeah.
As far as what was something that everyone wants to run their own business. Everyone sees the glam of, they think, hey, I run my own business, I make more money, I don't have to work for someone. What's something that you thought was going to be easy in running a business that no longer is easy, or you thought it would be a lot easier, if that makes sense?
I thought in the beginning that first blow of sales would just, or I don't know if it's sales, but sales was just going to keep, like that wave was just going to keep going.
Yeah.
Because in the beginning, everyone wants to support you.
Yeah.
And then quickly after that, it kind of fizzles out. So you gotta actually get people who want your service and not just are there to support you. I mean, people are there to support you, especially when you're 18 years old. Yeah. But it's a lot different than, just going to a job and then you have the same consistent work every single day. Yep. So it's cool to do it, but it's tricky because you think it's going to just keep coming, but then the second you stop advertising, the second you stop posting videos, it slows down a bit.
Yep. And then you're like, oh man, what am I going to do?
Yeah.
I understand that completely. Was that the same style? Was that the same way when you did your photography and media? Was it that kind of the same blow up and then it died, or is it pretty consistent?
That one's not been anything to where I've actively gone out and tried to get business. Yeah. It's kind of been, I just kind of take here and there what I can get, and then mainly just really helping my mom and doing it for enjoyment, because I just enjoy photography and videography.
It's cool.
It's like a little getaway.
100%. And what's cool about your generation too with Instagram, you could post something, and if you're tagging certain people, you're doing hashtags right, you're doing media, the songs you choose, a lot of people can find you organically just from your tags, from where, maybe you posted a location. People go into that location and they see other videos. And I feel like some of the people that probably found you was that way, I'm assuming, right? People found you on Instagram from that. That's cool. That's cool.
With the detailing, it'd be I post a video, tag the person who I cleaned their vehicle, and then they share it on their story, and then
and then wildfire,
yep.
and then everyone starts to see it, and they know you're the man to do it.
Yeah,
that's cool. That's cool. What keeps you going when it gets hard? I mean, I don't know how many road bumps, speed bumps, or road bumps or you've had so far, but is there anything that's what kind of keeps you going when it gets hard?
I'd say just knowing that it will work out. I mean, that's what my mom just tries to tell me, is that it'll all work out. So
yeah,
that's the biggest thing. There's nothing been I'd say catastrophic or terrible that's happened.
Okay.
But it when it slows down, it does get really disheartening, and I just have to remember, just because the details aren't up and I'm not making money doesn't mean I haven't done any work. Yeah,
you're 100% correct. That's cool. Yeah, I would say for someone like you, you're getting all those. What's the word I'm looking for? You're getting all these kind of. Any issues you're having right now, you're kind of working through them. So when you get older, you start to say you have your own place. I know right now, you know, you're still young, you live with your parents. A lot of entrepreneurs, the reason why they fail and the reason why they give up is because they run out of money. You know, they're not selling anymore, so they start freaking out well, I got to pay for my house. I got to pay for my family. I'm a husband, I'm a dad. So I think you're getting a lot of those stress cracks or whatever you want to say, you're getting those out now. So then when you do turn 21, 22, 23, whenever that is, you decide to move out, I think you already kind of have a plan. You have a roadmap of what works, what doesn't, and you're not relying on just to do something for cheap because you need the money, if that makes sense. So it's cool that you're doing that stuff now, because it really will make a difference. It really will. So talk to people about financial setup. Does it cost a lot of money to become a detailer? Does it cost a lot of money to do media and take photos? Did you have a lot of startup costs to all this, or was it did you sell something and then take a little money from that to buy the next thing? Or, just talk about what kind of cost there was to do what you're doing.
So with the detailing in the beginning, it was, I kind of just started with what I had. I didn't have a vacuum, so I'd sweep all the crumbs out, which was very, very time consuming. So quickly after that, I made the money from the first couple details and bought a vacuum. From there, it's just been products and then replacing broken things, because I've had stuff on hand. And we just have stuff that, because I was always doing my dad's truck. I'd always clean my dad's truck before I actually started it.
Okay.
So I had stuff on hand. Slowly, I've learned to build a fleet of products that is cost effective, works really good for how much it costs, and it's not going to charge me a lot on the back end.
Nice.
But I'm able to make really, really good profit margins with it. But with the detailing, it's a big upfront cost. You need the pressure washer, you need the vacuum, the tent, the filters, all the wands, the tools. You need all that. But once you have it, it lasts. It's not like it just breaks right away.
The only thing you're really going to have is just chemicals. Chemicals are only real cost, unless you buy a better extractor, you buy a better vacuum. That stuff happens. But you're right. I mean, I think whenever I ran my business for 3 years, I think I only upgraded my vacuum one time because it worked. I had a pretty good vacuum. And then my extractor for carpet, that's the only other thing I upgraded more than once throughout the life of our detailing company, was that stuff, just because once you buy it, it kind of sits. What about the media side? I mean, was there a lot of upfront cost there? Or did you already have a camera, or?
So I've never had a camera. I always had what my mom's was. I just found it in the back of the closet and was like, oh, let me start taking pictures. So started there, and then from there, I mean, I've had GoPros and stuff with mountain biking and that sort of off-road adventures. Just wanted to film it. I've always loved filming. I had a little YouTube channel with my biking stuff for a while.
Talk about that. So besides detailing and media, what else do you do pretty consistently?
So I race mountain bikes, so that's really fun to do. And then I also love just off-roading. Just hitting some whoops.
What got you into that?
I don't know, cars.
I
was showed cars at a very young age, and it just changed my life.
Really? That's awesome. What kind of, dream car, if you had to think of anything? I know you have a pretty rad SVT Raptor extended cab that I wish I had when I was your age. What's kind of that dream car? What are you looking for?
I really love new cars, like the Mustang GTD, all those
Yeah.
crazy ones, but it'd be just crazy to have like an old F-150.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Like a old square body, old OBS, or are you looking
The
like
OBS.
Okay.
I like the OBS, and then even like what are they, F-100s?
Yeah.
That'd be pretty cool, like a little farm truck.
Nice. That's
Red
cool.
with the green bed. I don't
Yeah,
know.
that would be cool. I mean, growing up for me, we're 20 years apart. My dream was, we grew up in the Nissan Skyline, Fast and the Furious is what we kind of grew up. My dream truck was an SVT Lightning, but the old Lightning, not the new electric Lightning. I would never drive that ever. But yeah, the old single cab, step side, SVT Lightning would be a dream truck for me. I think those are one of the coolest trucks. My wife loves the same truck as well, so it's a really, really cool. Yeah, that's one thing I would love to have. So
I was looking at those before the Raptor.
Oh, really?
It was just like, I could get the 2-seat or the single cab, or I could get the extended
You probably
cab.
could buy, probably for the same price, you probably could have got one or the other. I
Yeah.
mean, they're probably right around the same price.
Yeah, by now they're pretty similar.
That's cool. That's cool. Have you ever made a bad investment? Is there anything that you got for the detailing or the media side that maybe blew up later in your face, or is there anything that you've done that you're like, man, I probably should have waited, or maybe should have done at a different time?
I'd say definitely.
Yeah.
You just being on Instagram, you fall for those gimmicks like this product's gonna make your paint look no swirl marks without even polishing,
Yep.
and it's like, come on, you buy it and it just doesn't do anything, and it's like, man, I should have not bought that, and I should have just stuck to the list of parts that I already, or not parts, but list of products that I already have, and just stick to that. I don't know, what did you call it?
What?
What is it? The outline of a thing.
Like a roadmap?
A roadmap? Oh, I forgot the word.
That's all right. Oh, you're saying like you should stick with the products that work.
Yeah, the products
instead of going
that work.
outside of
Systems.
Systems. There we go.
Stick to the system that works instead of seeing something and wanting to get it. I've also heard, like, reading some books and learning it in videos and stuff is just, if you want to buy something, just wait a little bit, and you're probably not going to want it anymore.
Yep. They say that if you wait 3 days, I think that's what they say. Wait 72 hours and see if you want it then. And if you want it in 72 hours, then maybe it's a good purchase.
Yeah.
If after 10 minutes you already forgot what you were going to buy, probably not the best purchase. Yep, I get that. Do people understand the risks entrepreneurs take? I mean, you're young, you're 18, you probably have friends around you that probably still pick their nose and eat their boogers and stuff like that. Like, do you have people that understand what you do around them, or not really? Do they grasp like how you're trying to build a future, or are they just still look at you as the 8-year-old friend that they've always had?
I honestly don't know if they quite understand it. Almost, it's like they see you're doing and they're like, oh, that's cool, but it's not like they understand like the sacrifices you have to make to do it.
Yeah.
To where I have done online school, so I will have a detail later in the week. I just try to get all the school done before that and do the detail, drive out to it, or they come to me, one or the other, and it's like, you just got to manage your time to fit in those details, fit in those photo shoots, video shoots, all that stuff.
That's cool.
So it's not something that everyone can do, because I'm blessed to be able to do the online school, because it gives me time to just be able to experiment and try new things.
Yeah, no, that's really cool. We yesterday we took our son out of school because it was a half day, so and school's almost over. His grades are good, but he'd rather come here and work than stay in school. So I love how kids these days are starting to become that way, because like when I was in school 20 years ago, it was like school and college. That's what it was. No, you're never going to own a business. And it wasn't that you're not going to ever own a business, but you need to go to college to start a business. Like that was the mindset. And fast forward 20 years from when I graduated, it is the complete opposite. You know, I think it's way cooler to see kids like you. I mean, I call you kid even though you're an adult now, but see young adults that are out there starting a business, dude. I mean, I think it's one of the coolest things to see that's what people are leaning towards more than college. Because I feel like college is just, unless you're going to be a doctor, you know, a lawyer, something of that nature where college you need, yes. College is 100% okay for that. But if you're just going to go to say, I'm going to get a bachelor's in communication, or I'm going to get an associate's in art, go spend 2 years knocking doors, go spend 2 years doing sales. And I promise you, you're going to learn more knocking doors and talking to people than you're going to learn in those 2 years of college. So it's cool that you see young people like you doing that now, which is really, really cool. So.
And I already have 2 years of college done. So.
Yeah, you do. This guy's a genius right here. He's going all the way. So, what's harder, making money or keeping the money that you make?
Keeping it. Definitely keeping it.
Why is that?
You want to, the second you get it, you're just like, oh, what's the next thing I could buy? What's the quick money scheme I could get?
Yeah. And all right, so let's look at it 2 different ways. Keeping money or spending. So are you spending money on your business or are you just spending money to spend money? I guess let's go that route first.
So there'll be expenses that I do to spend on my business to build it. And then there's also the dumb things like a throttle controller for my truck.
Yeah.
Or
hey, that's sometimes important.
Or wheel spacers or whatever it is. It's like, do I need it? No, but it's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Pretty cool to have. And then there's just the dumb thing is like accidentally getting caught in a subscription for air fresheners. It's like, come on. Like, I thought I canceled it.
Was it the wood ones?
Yep, the wood ones.
Oh, yeah.
They like get you in there and then you cancel it and you're still in there. It's like, come on.
I know that feeling. Okay, so, and then as far as keeping money or spending money or keeping money for the business, do you feel like you save a lot more in the business or you spend a lot more to continue to make your business grow?
I think I've gotten really good at just managing it. I always keep like a set amount. I haven't like kept them separate.
Yeah.
I haven't done that yet.
Okay.
But I always have a set amount to where I run out of products. So I could just buy products. I don't always like to keep it on hand because sometimes it does get to a slower season, but I always want to have the products and everything to where it ramps up because I've noticed it's like a seasonal thing. There's just waves. And when the wave comes, you just have to take the wave and you have to just try to ride it as long as possible because once it goes, it's kind of gone for a little bit.
Yeah. As far as detailing, do you see the wave of, are you more busier in the summer or summer's like summer, fall or winter, spring?
I think it's like a kind of a 4-season thing. So it's a spring, summer, winter, fall. Nice. It's like a month that's just heavy.
Yep.
And then it tapers out and then heavy and then tapers out. We'll see how busy I get this summer.
Yeah.
Just try to.
I always felt like I was usually pretty busy in summers. A lot more people are taking vacation, so they come back, their car's dirty. Mm-hmm. I always saw summer was really good. And then winter I saw was pretty good too. People getting ready to go on trips for Christmas, Thanksgiving. They want their car looking nice. So I did notice those were 2 of my heavier months. And then like spring break, I was quiet because people were out doing their own thing. So that was something that was a slow time for us. And then fall, a lot of people, football season, there's stuff like that. Everyone's kind of relieving from the summer heat. Now they're more outside. They're not really thinking about their truck or car getting cleaned as much. So I did see that. For everyone out there, what was I going to go with that? I'll do something else. How important is social media? We're going to kind of go different gear. How important is social media today for what you do? Do you think you could run a business the old-fashioned way of just people, knocking doors, a yellow page ad for car cleaning? Like, do you think you can run a business that way now, or do you think social media is the only way to do it?
I think you can.
Okay.
But I also think social media is an important part.
Okay.
Especially with I am at my business. I'm not like super big. I'm not going out to all sorts of areas. I'm just kind of, I guess it's stay small enough, long enough, you'll be big enough soon enough is something I've heard.
Yeah.
Just learn all those processes, how to take care of a customer, a client, and just, because the bigger you get, the more problems there'll be, and if you get too big too soon, you're not going to learn how to handle it.
Yeah.
So.
No, you're right. You're only one person. I've told a lot of people that, a lot of entrepreneurs I've talked to, it's like you're one person. So if you're going to scale and get bigger, then you need to find people around you that are going to grow with you, because if not, what's going to happen is your customer service is going to start to decline. You're going to start to have issues with the quality of work you're doing because you're rushing. I actually just ranted yesterday on an Instagram post, because customer service, I feel like, is what keeps your business going. Mm-hmm. And I hate when people are like, hey, I'll call you back tomorrow, and then you don't call.
Yep.
If you're going to sit there and do that stuff, make sure as a small business owner, your word is everything. As an entrepreneur, especially how young you are, people are already going to have some kind of trust, like, man, this kid's only 18. He's going to be cleaning my car. What if he messes up my paint?
Yeah.
Is he going to have enough money to pay for it if something breaks? So there's already probably some limitations that you probably battle with every day when it comes to certain clients.
Yeah.
So I think as long as you keep your word, you keep your credibility high, people are going to slowly start to be like, oh yeah, he's the real deal. Like this guy knows what he's doing. And I think same with media, you know, if someone calls you and says, hey, I want to shoot tomorrow, and you tell them you're going to be there at a certain time, you make sure you're there 15 minutes early.
Yep.
I mean, we had a 9 o'clock appointment today and you were here at 8:45. I think that's awesome. Stay with that forever, because that is what makes a difference whenever you're bidding up against another person that takes photos. You know, there's hundreds of detailers out there. There's probably hundreds of media guys out there. I get hit up every day on social media for media guys. Hey, I love your videos. Who does them? Can I do them for you? I could do drone. I could do this. I could do that. But I have a certain amount of people that I go to that I trust when it comes to it, because I've built that trust with them, and they've built their trust with me with that. So definitely remember that as an entrepreneur, that your communication and your customer service is going to be everything. So what happens when you stop posting? So we're talking about social media. We're talking about how that's kind of the new thing. If you stop posting, what do you see? We kind of already went over it, but what do you see when you stop posting on both sides?
I mean, I kind of notice it slows down a bit. I honestly see it too as if God will provide me with the work I can handle, because there's some seasons where I just don't have a chance to post. Like graduation right now, I'm going to be heading out of town. I don't have time to get details in right now, but I have people on the calendar to where when I get back, I shoot out the messages and I'm like, I'll let you know as soon as I'm back. We'll get those done.
That's cool.
So it's something to where I do think that social media is a very important part, and honestly, it's like a way to just keep you stuck in someone's head.
Yeah.
Because there's so many people are like, oh, I'm gonna do it, and then they're just kind of, you just see them slowly watching, and it's like they'll get it at some point, but it's like the Lord will provide me with what I can handle. That's so cool. I just try to remember that in the slower seasons. Yeah. And then also, I'll be praying sometimes, and it's like I got 5 or 6, no, not 6, but like 5 in like a week. Yeah. And then like there'll
keeps you busy every day.
Yeah, there'll be a weekend that's just crazy, like a paint correction. Those ones are really taxing. Yeah. Because I want a quick turnaround time. I don't want them to have their vehicle sitting at my house for like 5 days.
Oh yeah.
Because you gotta. Well, what I like to do is I like to just make sure I do it all proper the first time, make sure everything's done, there's no spots of ceramic missed, and it just takes some time. You also have to let it cure. And I'd rather let it cure in a closed garage than out in someone's driveway, so there's always that. Yeah, it's hard. I remember whenever I was doing mobile detailing, people are like, oh, can you do paint correction? It's like, you realize this is not something you just do in an hour and move on. You know, there's a lot of steps to it. There's a process to it. And if we don't do these processes right, your paint's going to look terrible, or it's not going to cure correctly. And in 6 months, when you're yelling at me because it's got a weird fade or it's doing this, what do you think first thing they're going to do? They're going to call you and yell at you. Yeah. So I think it's cool that you keep those processes going, and you have value on those people's time as well, of like, hey, this is going to take some time, so there's upfront, communication, which is awesome. You know, you tell them that. The other thing I like how you brought up was the God and praying, and God's going to provide for this business, because we go through it all the time. We've been doing this 5 years. We have months where we're busy, and then for the month of April, just not even a few weeks ago, we were like dead slow. And those times, unfortunately, I sometimes start freaking out, and I stop trusting God as much as I should, which is not a good thing. So I think sometimes God tests us in our business as an entrepreneur to be like, all right, what are you basing your business on? Are you basing it on the trust of me, or are you basing it on the trust of yourself? So it's cool that you put that first in your business, because that's definitely going to keep you going in the right direction. So that's real cool. I think it's also important to just learn it young rather than later on in life. Is just the quicker you could get that foundation. I think the better off you'll be. I mean, also the sooner 100%. You can hit rock bottom. Put yourself at rock bottom. And then go up from there. Because you can build a better foundation on that. I
mean, you're not wrong. So amen to that. For social media, what do you see what media works on your detailing side that may not work on your social media side? Or do you see that both types of content work on both sides? Or do you what do you see on both sides? Do you see more stuff working with the detail world that doesn't work in the media, or vice versa? Or do you see they work together?
I think it's all sort of relative to what you're doing. Okay. The detailing stuff is, yes, you could show the before and after work, but honestly, people want to see you, and they want to see you doing the work, as I think they want to know you're trustworthy. And if you're just showing your work without showing your face, they're not gonna associate that with a person to trust.
Yep.
And I think that's really important. And on the other media side, I'm not necessarily in front of the camera. I'm behind the camera.
Yeah.
Usually. So just being able to give the person a product that is clear, to the point, shows their face, shows their event, podcast, whatever it may be, and just makes it in a way that's like, oh, this is really cool. This is something I would want to do.
Yeah.
So
that's cool. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know we kind of talked about earlier. I know my face on camera makes people come to us a lot faster and look at stuff. I mean, me personally, I think people want to see the equipment. It's like, hey, I sell equipment. Don't you want to see what you're going to buy? But it's almost opposite. It's almost like they want to see my face and talking about the equipment, and then maybe taking a few clips of the equipment or doing something like that. I do see that those are the ones that really skyrocket. I get more views on that stuff. So those are the ones. So I definitely understand that. Detailing is going to be one side of social media, and then your media side is going to be something different. Because if you had your face on social media side, they're going to be like, well, what's he showing? His face? It just wouldn't make sense to do that. So that's cool. That's cool. We kind of talked about this earlier, but we're going to kind of get into our new section. How important is faith in your business?
I think it's really, really important. I think you have to lay it as the foundation for your business. I don't think you can grow a healthy God-based business if you're not putting your own Bible time first, your own relationship with God. Because if that stuff's lacking, I think your business is going to be lacking, and you're not. I mean, sometimes the goal might not be to be just crazy loaded with all this stuff. It might just be to just have a really good relationship with the Lord, and then have a business that just is able to provide for you, and just,
That's cool. Yeah, whenever Danielle and I start all of our businesses, we have 3. Well, we've had 3, 2 currently, and 1 more we've had. We've always felt like the flooring of our business has to be the Lord. I mean, if we don't have God first in our business, your business is never, ever going to survive. And some people may, I don't believe in God. I've had a business 25 years. Yeah, you probably have, and some people do have businesses that are not God-driven or have a foundation of Christianity in it, but that's not how we run our business. And I guarantee you there's times, if you talk to those entrepreneurs that don't have Christ first in their business, they're going to go through a lot more rough times. And those times are the reasons why they don't have a Christ, because they blame God. Well, if God was real, why did I go through why did I go through this? Why did I have a construction company in 2008, the whole world crashed down, and I blame God for that. It's like, well, that's not necessarily, God knew it was going to happen, but it doesn't mean that God wanted your business to survive or not survive. If you're still going this long, obviously God wants you to, I think he pushes some business owners to get closer to God in those certain ways. So, but yeah, I think having a Christ-driven company is the one thing in the world, especially today, the world we live in, I think is what kind of sets people apart from other companies, 100%. When there's been moments has there been moments where God got you through a situation with the detailing company, with the media? I mean, have you ever been in a situation where you're like, God, I don't know if I'm going to get through this or what situation is going to turn out from this, but have you ever gone through any of those, only being a year into your careers?
Yeah, I think so. There's been times where you get just a client that's like, I don't know about it, and it's like you gotta pray about it, especially the bigger jobs. Ceramic coatings is something I really like to just make sure I pray about it.
Thousands. They could spend thousands.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And it's just, you want to provide a product that just makes them happy, and you also want to work with someone who's like, you want to work with someone who's going to be good to work with. You don't just want to work with someone who's going to just hate on your work as soon as you're done. It's very disheartening when you finish a job and they look at it and they're like, there's still a stain here. Yeah. And it's like, do you not see everything else that was done?
They pick out the one bad part. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's really good to work with good people, and I think your pricing is a reflection of who you work with. Because if you're charging bottom dollar, you're not going to get
bottom of the barrel people.
Yep. Yeah. Like the Spirit Airlines went out of business.
Exactly. So and that was one. Even with us, I mean, people spend $10, $20, $50, $100,000 on a piece of equipment, and we have clients where I'm like, Yeah, and it sounds bad, but it's almost like you don't want them to buy. You're like, I don't know if I want to deal with you after if something happens. We're in the used industry, so when you buy used equipment, there's no warranty. I mean, we try to find the best of the best when it comes to what we're selling, but sometimes we have clients where we're like, man, please. I mean, it sounds bad, but it's like, don't get declined, Yeah. Sorry, you got declined because your credit. Or it sounds bad, and it's not in a mean way. It's just more of you want to control the clients that you're working with, 100%. So.
I think it's the same way for me. There's like, I'll get somebody and it's like, oh, I just don't really want to work with you. Like,
yeah, I get it. I understand that.
It's like, you just want to work with good people.
Yeah.
And you just got to put yourself out there to be able to do that stuff. And it takes time to get the trust of those higher priced clients. But
yeah, I like it. Being 1 year in, what defines success to you? I mean, where is it a certain dollar amount you want to hit? Is it a certain time frame you want to be in business? Is there a certain level you're trying to get to? So, what defines your success with what you're doing right now?
Honestly, don't know if I've kind of learned that yet. I think I'm still new and I haven't quite figured out what success is, and that's something I'm still struggling to figure out, because when it slows down and I'm not working, I think I'm not a hard worker, and I think I'm just lazy, and it's like it's tricky because I feel like you got to be working all the time, but just because you're working all the time doesn't mean you're working hard.
Exactly.
So. And
sometimes I think the devil does that too. I think as Christian business owners have a target on their back, a lot of times I think the devil tries to stir and get your mind going in a million different ways. You're slow for a couple of days and automatically your mind goes on being lazy, when really it's not that. Yeah. You're a hard worker, but it's just, I tell people Christian business owners have a target on their back all the time. I feel like we go through a lot more scrutiny. We go through a lot more, well, if you're a Christian, why'd you do this? Or why'd you sell that? Or why did that happen? It's like, well, I can't control the world. There's still free will. So that's cool. I like it. What are you building all this for? I mean, you're detailing. I know you said you want to have one big company. I mean, is that your end goal, or are you trying to build something for a family later? I mean, what are you building all this for?
I mean, honestly, I've always had a dream when I'm younger is to have like a farm.
Okay.
So I'd love to have just a farm somewhere in the mountains, big trees, the tire swing, the wraparound porch.
Well, that's cool.
And then a family too would be pretty dang cool.
That's awesome. You don't see that a lot. I mean, my kids are 16, and 13. So, and in 2 years they'll be your age, and they're not even talking about kids or a family. So it's cool that you're still in that you still have that mindset of you want something more than what you're doing right now. A lot of kids your age, even young adults, 20, 21, they're very selfish. I mean, we live in a very selfish world now where people are all about what are you doing for me, not what I'm going to do for you. So it's cool that you have that mindset of you want a family and you want all that. So it's cool to see that. It really is.
I think in that instance, it's like I'd rather just work harder when I'm younger so that I could kind of ease back when I'm a little bit older. Yep. I don't want to be all broken and mangled by the time I'm...
Yeah. You don't want to be 38 like me and all bruised up and sore, and I get it.
I want to be able to get out of like a old truck without like falling over.
Without having to roll out or anything like that? No, I get it. What advice would you give your younger self? I mean, I know you've only been doing this a year, but is there anything that you maybe would have told yourself back when you were 16 that would have helped you out now?
Honestly, I think it's kind of tricky because when I was younger, I did bike tune-ups.
Okay.
So I had Tallman tune-ups.
Yeah.
Tallman detailing, and then I have like still motion media.
Okay.
So those three have been what I've done, and I think I just would tell myself to don't just get discouraged by what other people say, because it's not their journey.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people will just kind of hate on you naturally. Yep. It's because they kind of see you doing better than them, and they're just going to naturally hate on you.
Yep.
For simply just because you're doing a business.
Yeah.
So
because you're not out there doing what they're doing.
Mm-hmm,
yep.
Mm-hmm. I think I just tell myself to continue to push forward and not let what others think is who you are.
No, dude, that's great advice. That it really, really is, especially at your age. It's that you've already recognized that in the 2 years of starting the bike repairs to where you're at now. I mean, that's huge advice. So it's cool that you've recognized that. That's really cool.
And I mean, too, or also just, I forgot what I was going to say.
No.
It'll come back to me.
No, you're fine. Say someone's watching this, entrepreneur, they have that mindset. What do you think they should do first? If they decided, hey, I want to start a business. I mean, I know you're still young at this, so you may not even have the answer. It would probably be more of a question for me. But where would someone start if they decide to start a business? I mean, would you tell them to do something they love? Would you tell them to do something they're passionate about? Or would you tell them to find something that makes them a lot of money? I mean, what would you tell that person?
I'll say mine and then you can say yours.
Okay.
But I think you got to find something you're passionate about. Just to start, you got to do something you enjoy, because it's gonna be what keeps you going at the end of the day.
Yep.
Because if you didn't enjoy it, you wouldn't work so hard to do it.
Yeah.
And I also think the thing that I was going to say earlier is you just got to accept that you're different early on, because an entrepreneur is not like everyone else. Especially a Christian entrepreneur is not like everyone else. So you just got to accept you're different and be okay with it, and just continue to move forward.
That's really cool. For me, honestly, it's the exact same thing. I feel like you find something you're passionate about. Find something you're passionate about that you can find a way to make money off of it. Mm-hmm. Now, you may not make millions of dollars off of your idea or what you're passionate about, but I know for me in the detailing world, I loved cleaning cars. I loved being around cars. I've always loved cars. So for me, it was like, I love how I can make an ugly car look nice. You have before and afters. Those were my favorite pictures all the time. I mean, I probably still have hundreds of before and afters. And I always thought those were the coolest pictures, because it would just showed people like, wow, I mean, he really loves what he does. Mm-hmm. And it's not like you know how detailing is. You're not going to make thousands of dollars on every single car. You make probably $100 to $200 a car is about the normal range you're going to charge to do a detail. Mm-hmm. And if you're doing like monthly, like I had a bunch of monthly people where I'd go out there twice a month. I'd go out there once a week. Those people I made even less because it was guaranteed money. I would charge them one time in the beginning of the month. They would pay me, and then I'd have to go out there, once a week, and knowing like, oh man, I'm tired. They've already paid me. Your mind goes in so many different directions, but at the end of the day, this person trusts you with the money, so you need to go out there and do it. But I think passion is the one thing for any entrepreneur that wants to start. You got to have passion in something. Don't start it because you want to make money. If you start a business because you think you're going to make a lot of money, I guarantee you will fail.
You're going to lose money.
Yeah, you 100% are going to lose money. So, what habits, since you became an entrepreneur, what habits have changed in your life? Is anything that sticks out?
I mean, I guess how I've gotten better with managing money. I still make those dumb purchases like
you're 18, of course.
Air fresheners and that stuff.
Right.
You learn to manage your money a little bit better.
Yeah.
Because you always have to have that like emergency money in case I messed up someone's car, or in case I ran out of products just mid-detail. You just got to manage your money a little bit better. Yeah. And then I also think just your thought processes shift a little bit to like, I also invest stocks and stuff like that. So it's like, you just want to, your thinking processes change sooner than later.
Yep.
So it's not necessarily about like how I can spend my money, but it's how I can use my money to make more money.
Okay, so I like it. We're getting towards the end, but I have some few more questions, and then I'll kind of open the floor if you have any questions for me. But a few of them, have your parents been a good helper? Is it cool to be a family? I know you're not family owned and operated, it's just you, but I mean, how much has your parents helped you when it comes to you being an entrepreneur?
I think they've really helped me to figure out the processes on this business. They haven't helped on the detailing. They helped me with the photo and video stuff because we can expense it through my mom's stuff and stuff like that. But with the detailing, it's kind of been my own thing. I've had to spend my own money here and there. My dad will be like, "Here's glass cleaner, like a product run, stuff like that." But it's been my own thing, and it's just. What was the question again?
Where have they helped you out as an entrepreneur? Like, having your parents be there for you, has it helped you grow as an entrepreneur? Has it helped grow your business?
I think learning the processes.
Okay.
Because they're both older. My mom has her business, and they've helped me learn the processes of how to do it, how to treat a customer, how to
Cool.
do all that stuff so that I'm not just going in there blind.
Yeah.
I mean, I still don't know what I'm doing.
Yeah.
I know what I'm doing more than I used to, but I'm still new at this.
Yeah, I get it.
So.
I understand completely. Have you ever thought about, I mean, the next step of detailing would be obviously bring on an employee.
Yeah.
Have you thought about that as something for the next step, or you still want to just do it solo?
I think I might stay solo for a little bit longer. I've had my sister help me for some jobs and stuff when it'd be the summertime and it's just hot, but I think just the best bet for now is to stay solo until I can figure out some of those things of how to build a process so that I can have maybe a van or something to where they just go out and there's a whole list of the steps that they need to do to where it's laid out for them.
Yeah.
So
if you did that, would you hire family first? Would you hire friends, or would you just hire someone off the street?
I'd probably hire friends that I think are hardworking and have a good work ethic, because I kind of already know them.
Okay. Do you think that could be a good thing or a bad thing? And I'll give you my 2 cents after.
It could depend. I mean, it could be bad because they get greedy. That's why I just have not hired anybody. It's kind of my own thing, and I don't trust the work ethic of most of the people because I don't want to have my brand be ruined because you did a bad job.
Yeah.
But I mean, here and there I'll mess up.
Yeah.
And it's something that I got to fix. So
So what I was going to bring, same thing. You bring in friends, family, they get very greedy. They become very judgmental that you're taking all the credit even though they're helping you, but you're the owner. People don't realize if they're not an entrepreneur and they're just going to be employees. They don't realize how much we have to go through to run a business. They just see, everyone thinks we just make money and all hand over fist. Oh, they're just making all this money and they're paying me pennies on it. It's nowhere like that. You know, for a detailing company at your size, it's a little bit smaller to control. But when you have something like this, there's so much back end stuff where people are like, trust me, your paycheck every week is the least of my worries when it comes to all the other stuff that I'm paying for to run this company. When you have friends, they'll be the first ones, unfortunately, to stab you in the back. You know, I've hired friends before. I've had friends work here, and I can tell you today, did you walk in and see anyone else in this place besides me and my wife and Lauren? No, because unfortunately they fizzled themselves out. I feel like God shows their true colors sooner or later. It may take a month, it may take 6 months, it may take a year, but sooner or later God, I think, starts showing. I think it comes to our attention that we're starting to see some colors of like, okay, these are some red flags that we can't have at this business. Yeah. And like you said, your brand is everything. So if they start choosing to mess up your brand, sell stuff, lie to customers, it reflects bad on us, and that's the last thing we want. Yeah. So I would say, as an older entrepreneur talking to a younger one, I would almost find someone outside of your circle. Not everyone may say that, but I think that's what I would do if I had to hire a detailer. Find someone that's detailed before that maybe just likes doing it. They want it as part-time work. I think they'll be a way better employee to you than someone you know or someone in your family. I really do. So just some keys from another entrepreneur that's been through that and has done that before. So anything you want to ask me? I mean, do you have any questions? The floor is open. I mean, if you have nothing, that's awesome too. But if you have anything, fire away. I mean, the biggest thing is like that I'm just wondering is like, I know it takes a while, but I guess to even just get steady, but like even then, I don't know if there's ever a stopping point. As far as like growing or just as far as growing, just building it, that sort of stuff. I think it depends on what industry you're in. I think there's certain industries where you can have it as just a continually flow, and then after 40 years, you sell it off to someone and you make like say you sell insurance, or you have an insurance company or something that you're making money month after month as long as they're part of your program. That stuff, I think you just continue to go down the road, and then when it gets to a big enough point where you're like, all right, someone offered me 10x of what it's worth, then I think there's a time to sell. Yeah. As far as what we do, I think for paint equipment sales, my goal and my wife's goal has always been like, let's build the best business until we get to a certain year of age. Ours is 50, so another 10, 12 years from now. When we get to 50, then we're going to look at and see, is this place even still here? Maybe God's opened another door for us. Maybe God closed this door. Or we get to 50 and it's still running, still operating. Then we see what the next step is. Do we give it to our family? Do we, do our kids want a part of this? Mm-hmm. Do we sell it off to maybe a competitor that would take all of our book of business, take all of our clients, take our yard, take our equipment, and move on to something else? That's part of it too. But I think at the end of the day, I think God's probably going to be the one that's really going to push us in one way or another.
Yeah.
I really do. I think that's something you pray about and you see, okay, where are we at today? God, are we going to, 50 years old, do we want to retire and drive across the U.S. and just go visit stuff or take some time off for ourselves? I think once you get to a certain point, I think God will start kind of opening other doors up to that, to figure out what the ending point is, Because that is a great question.
Yeah, I think that's pretty encouraging to hear, because it's like you think it's all got to be you in the beginning, and it's I just don't think, after hearing what you say and what others say, I think it's kind of just you got to let God lead you almost.
100%. I mean, and like I said, some people may watch this podcast and be like, I would never do that. Well, some people may not, but that's how we run our business, and it seems like it's been working this far, because I've known a lot of people in the last 5 years of us having this that have opened businesses and are no longer here. Not really necessarily in our same industry, but just in general. Yeah. We get clients all the time that are closing businesses because they're struggling, financial crisis, economy, and then we take all their equipment and we sell it to other people, So we see people grow, we see people fall, and I think it's all of what is going to happen in your life that God kind of already knows where it's going to go.
And He'll open the doors and close the ones that aren't for you.
If I guess we can kind of end with this. If you, what's one thing? I mean, how can I word this? If you had to choose between, and we may have already talked about this, choose between the detailing and turning that into one thing, or media. You get to a point in your life where you can't juggle both anymore. Mm-hmm. Which lane would you rather choose? Would you rather choose the detail and paint correction and automotive, or would you rather chase the social media, the media, the photography?
I honestly think it would be the media. Not necessarily like the shorter stuff, but more of like a storytelling. Okay. I've always loved that. I could probably show you some of my old videos too, but I've always liked to tell a story, and it's just been something I've always done from a little kid, just making cat movies, like taking the cats in the house and making a movie with them.
That's awesome.
But the storytelling is really cool, and I think it's kind of a way of how I can express myself and how I can express others.
Yeah.
Like, I think a big one would be a wedding. That'd be a really cool story to tell.
Yeah.
For someone.
Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah. Well, I'm happy for you. I'm glad. I'm glad everything's. You seem like you have such a great head on your shoulder. Me and your dad talk about you all the time whenever you're not around and when we're at church. And I think you have a great future ahead of you. I think God has definitely turned you into a great young man, where I feel like you could, if you were a business owner of either one of those businesses, I think people would be very pleased to work with you. So it's cool to see that. And for everyone watching, I mean, this kid's 18. Like, it's crazy that you have the knowledge and the stability, the emotions, everything to run a business at your age. I mean, it takes a lot. I mean, when I was 18, I was definitely not running a business, dude. I was running amok and doing stupid things out there. So it's cool to see that there's people out there not doing that. So, yeah. Well, we'll kind of end this. Do you want to pray and we'll get out of here? Awesome. All right. Heavenly Father, thank you for this time today. Thank you for this podcast. Thank you for all the questions that we went back and forth on. And I just pray that you bless Joaquin's businesses and go through everything. And I just pray that you put your hand on either the media, the detailing, or both, God, and you point him in the direction that you feel like he would be better suited for. And if that's social media and photography, or if that's detailing, or maybe that's both for right now, God, until you get to another point in his life. Just bless him, protect him, and I just thank you for this time together. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Amen.
Sweet.
Sweet.